Oakland A's UK. Oakland A's UK. The Oakland A's UK. The Oakland A's UK. Hello, welcome to Oakland A's UK. I'm Matt Smith. It's Sunday the 29th of September, and in some ways that might be a bit of a sad day because it's the final day of the MLB regular season. It's also a bit wet and miserable outside here in the UK, but nobody's miserable here among A's fans because the A's are playoff bound once again. For the second year in a row, we're going to the AL wildcard. It's going to be at a Coliseum this time, and hopefully a different result this time. The A's clinched that wildcard on Friday, and not quite in the way they ideally would have liked, doing it with a loss against Seattle, but Cleveland Indians had already lost to the Washington Nationals, so it didn't matter, and you know what, the A's celebrated like they didn't care, and rightly so. It's not about quite how you got over the line, it's about the fantastic regular season that the A's have put together. And I said, doing it 2 years in a row is really something to be proud of for this group of A's players, not least because so many of them are young players who are going to be with the team for years to come, so this could be only the start for what this A's group might do. Now, I was particularly happy because on Friday morning I had taken the slight chance of booking next week in terms of the Thursday off work. It was looking a bit dicey earlier in the week, so I held off because I didn't want to tempt fate, but thankfully I booked it off thinking we only need one more win or one more Cleveland loss, so I thought we'd be okay, and thankfully we were. So I booked Thursday off, and we'll come to when the wildcard game is in a moment, but yes, happy for me that I didn't jinx it for the A's, and great for the team to celebrate in the way they did, and then to bounce back on Saturday to beat the Mariners 1-0 with a really good start by Brett Anderson, Jesus, who's not a very naughty boy, he's the Messiah, Luzardo, pitching well too. So they got a 1-0 win. The Rays lost to the Blue Jays. The wonders of modern technology, actually. I was on the train home from London, listening to the start of that game against the Blue Jays, when the Blue Jays took a 3-0 lead in the first, so I was silently cheering along for the Blue Jays in that one. So it all went the A's way. The A's clinched home field advantage for the wild card. It's going to be at the Coliseum, and it's going to be fantastic. On to the wildcard game then, and I may have confused some of you Americans because I'm talking about Thursday. Well, here's how it works out. The American League wildcard game is on Wednesday 2nd in America. So it's a 5:09 PM time start in Oakland, so 8:09 Eastern time. However, we're 8 hours ahead of Oakland time, so it's a 1:09 AM start time on Thursday for us. Yes, a bit of an early one, but that's what we're used to as A's fans in the UK. That's why I've taken Thursday off work. I can work on Wednesday, stay up and watch the game live, and then catch up on some of that sleep, and hopefully going to bed, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, something like that, in a much better mood this year than I was last year after we lost to the Yankees. Coverage in the UK is going to be on BT Sport on TV, and for us in the UK we can also watch all of the playoff games via our MLB TV subscription. In the States there are national blackouts that come into effect during the playoffs, but they don't affect us here in the UK, so you can watch it on BT Sport or watch it on MLB TV. We know the game's going to be at the Coliseum, and it's against the Rays, so the next thing that was on the mind is who is going to start for Oakland. Mike Fiers and Sean Manaea are the two obvious candidates, and everything is leaning towards it being Sean Manaea. Makes sense because he's a lefty, and the Rays are quite lefty heavy in terms of their lineup when you look at people like Austin Meadows, Ji-Man Choi, Kevin Kiermaier, Brandon Lau. Even then you get into former Rays like Eric Sogard and Joey Wendell. Those guys, they're all lefties, so it makes more sense to chuck Sean Manaea at them, but it's always a way with a wildcard game. You've got a specific roster just for that one game, so you can remove pretty much all of the other usual starting pitcher candidates, load up on the bullpen, and although we're not going to be bullpenning this year like we did last year in the Bronx, we'll be able to go into it knowing that Sean Manaea can start things off, but there'll be plenty of arms ready to take over if needed. And it kind of caps off a remarkable transformation for Sean Manaea, because coming into this season it was really looking like he wasn't going to pitch at all. He had a shoulder injury, and it looked like it was unlikely, even if we went kind of deep into September when there were meaningful games. you'd probably not expect to see him, but he came back a bit ahead of schedule, and in the 5 games he started for the A's so far, he's been tremendous, much better than we kind of could have imagined really. Always knew what a great talent he is, but having such a long layoff, you kind of expected there to be some rust, and we haven't seen much evidence of it, have we? So really good, great to see Sean Manaea back. You roll back a year and we went in a wildcard game. The reason why we bullpenned in that game was really because we didn't have a number 1 guy to turn the ball to. So this year we've got Sean Manaea back, and I'm sure he's going to do a great job. As for the Rays, they're going to counter with Charlie Morton by all accounts, and you can completely understand that. He's been their standout starting pitcher, making 33 starts over the season, a really good addition as a free agent over the off-season, and the 2 times he's faced the A's this year came in June, pitched very well against us, so it shows what a difficult task it will be. But those games were back in June, different days, different A's I would say. We were a much better lineup now, and we all know, sadly, we've got the experience of the game against the Royals a few years back. Doesn't matter what you throw in there, it doesn't matter what the odds are, it's one game, anything can happen. Charlie Morton, a lot of people from the outside would say, well, that gives a big advantage to the Rays, but we've seen plenty of him with the Astros. He is a very good pitcher, but he's not insurmountable. It's not an insurmountable task, and the A's will have a good game plan to try and get the better of him and to get into their bullpen. Now I know it's only one game and anything can happen in one game, but I'm really glad the A's have got home field advantage for the wildcard. With the Coliseum, it's not just about the foul territory and all of that stuff. For a game like this, it's about the fans. It's about the fact that the place is going to be packed, the place is going to be rocking, the drums are going to be drumming, fans are going to be going wild, and the atmosphere is something that the A's team will feed off. I know they will, so it's going to be a great event. We know that the Rays are a very good team and have to give a lot of credit to Kevin Cash and his team for the way they've made the playoffs despite having the lowest payroll around, so well done to them, but that's when the congratulations finishes, because the wild card is there to be grabbed. The A's absolutely can do it, and we really hope that they do. Again, coverage is available in the UK on BT Sport or using MLB TV. It's a 1am start on Thursday, early hours of Thursday for us. Looking at my schedule, I hopefully will be able to do a live stream on Periscope before the game. Maybe not right before the game because it will be midnight or whatever, so that probably won't go down well with my neighbours. But I will hopefully do one maybe 9 o'clock in the UK on Wednesday, so 1 PM in Oakland, to kind of sum up my pre-game thoughts, the nerves and the excitement. Hopefully Hannah or Don might be able to join me too, so look out for that. We'll tweet about that if that's going to happen, and of course we'll be tweeting a bit during the game. Please bear in mind in America that it's going to be 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning through most of the game, so we'll probably be a bit tired and just concentrating on the game, but we'll be reacting to things. It tends to be the way with this sort of thing that you get wrapped up in the game and forget that it's 3 o'clock in the morning, but hopefully I won't annoy the neighbours too much, despite there being plenty for the A's fans to cheer about. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Don't forget to follow, like, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're Oakland A UK on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. I'm Matt Smith. Thanks a lot for watching. Go A's against the Rays on Thursday.
Yeah, we're the Oakland A's.